You should get some sleep then.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Wouldn't it be? Why do I sound hollow? It's weird.
Great question, Joe. Why do you sound hollow?
I don't know. Oh well.
Oh well, he says. Oh
I
well.
mean, stop sunk over. I'm looking for something. Oh wait, would it be in here? Nothing important. I'm literally just looking for something. How was your week?
It was good.
Yeah. How was your time in Tucson?
Terrible.
Yeah. Eat a bunch of VGs?
I didn't actually eat down there at all.
It's probably a good idea.
Mainly because we had to drive down and back every day that we went down there. So
Was it just like one or two jobs that you had down there, or were you
um,
like training somebody?
so first day we were doing TV deliveries. And we
Fun.
had 10 of them, which doesn't sound bad except for like the first 3 weren't in Tucson.
Oh,
Um,
they're like on the outskirts of Tucson.
yeah, so like the one was in, I think it's the city's called Morena, I think it's called.
Okay.
And it's about 40 minutes from the store.
Why were you guys doing deliveries out there?
They're behind.
Fair enough.
Black Friday apparently got ahead of them.
Well, that's also what happens when you get rid of like half your delivery and in-home people.
Well, the real problem for them is they're not considered a major market, so they don't have third party.
Oh, okay.
So they do their own deliveries and their own installs on stuff.
Okay.
Now they still use like the Shipped and whatever, and I guess DoorDash now.
Super weird, right?
Yeah. But those are like one-offs. They're not like, they're doing like a pack of fucking headphones and small ass TVs. They're not doing 75s and 85s and shit like that.
Right.
They're doing like 32-inch TVs.
Cool.
So, and then the second day that was down there was training a guy.
Nice.
So,
That sounds like you had an eventful week.
yeah. The drive just sucks, dude. It's too long.
Yeah.
And
What is it, 2 hours out to Tucson?
2.5 ish.
Two
Yeah.
and a half?
Yeah, and then if you get traffic, it's even worse.
Mm-hmm.
And then, if you're super lucky, you get traffic on both ends, leaving and then getting into town. So that's always fun.
Isn't it, though?
Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, things have been ramping up at the service center. Not necessarily for us in PC, because they still turned off most of that stuff so that we can catch up with things.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've been getting a lot of TVs in for repair,
Wouldn't doubt it.
audio equipment as well. Out of nowhere, too, last night I got one of those Samsung Odyssey Arcs for testing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Have you seen one of those in person? I know we talked about it before.
Yeah.
Yeah, massive TVs. Well, monitors, quote
Yeah.
unquote monitors. It's essentially a TV that they market as a monitor.
Yeah, it's
Because of the extreme curve that they put to it. Yeah, so I set it up and then I hooked up a HP Omen, ran it through diagnostics, and the last one that hopefully finished last night was the graphics card tests. And everyone, including our manager, was like sitting down at it, just like, could I afford this thing? Is this practical? No.
yeah, dude.
No, it's not.
It's just ridiculous, dude.
It's ridiculous, especially like I have the 45-inch LG OLED, whatever. I can't remember what the other model is. Like it's a big monitor, but it's such a reasonable size. Like if you were to put the 55 inch that Odyssey Arc, which is a 55-inch TV, right in front of me, like the tall real estate is really cool to think about it until you sit down and you're just sitting there like, okay, I need to close a screen, and you're just looking all the way up and to the right to be like closing things. Like I'm just running, just trying to set up the diagnostics on things, and I'm just like, okay, now I have to go to the upper left, mouse. Now upper right, mouse.
Yeah.
You're just like, you would really have to change the DPI in your mouse to make it more manageable. Just like small movements to equal big movements.
And increase the size so you can see it, because that monitor is just
well, it defaults to scaling of like 300% or something like that. Because I wanted to see what I know we had them in the past, but I never really played around with too much of the PC side settings, because we were just trying to move through them testing wise. But now that I just have one singular one sitting in front of me, I'm like, let's play with this. I don't remember what the resolution was on it, but I was so disappointed that it was locked to a 60 hertz refresh rate. And I'm like, that's dumb for a monitor, for a gaming monitor. I don't know. Maybe it's not really positioned as a gaming monitor, but it's just like look how big this thing is. I can put up multiple windows onto one monitor type thing. And then there's one thing that I forgot. Like it comes with a One Connect box.
Yeah.
And you can't do it. Well, so it has like 4 HDMI in and then one DisplayPort in. You can't do multiple input picture-in-picture type thing.
Really?
Yeah. Unless they've updated it, because surprisingly that they have a new model version. Apparently it was popular enough to actually release a new model. I haven't looked up the new model specs, but I know the old model, you couldn't do that. That wasn't a feature. So as an example, if you were to rotate the thing vertically, because that was something else that you can do, you pop it all the way up, rotate it, and then slightly up, and that way you have this like more of a cockpit type view to it.
Bonkers.
As soon as you rotated it, the PC screen reduces down to maybe like a 24-inch monitor, and then it opens up 2 more screens, but it's like a built-in Samsung web browser, and then YouTube app or whatever app you had previously open, which was YouTube for me. Yeah, from what I recall, in the first model, it didn't allow for you to put up like multiple inputs in those places.
Huh.
Yeah, it's really short-sighted on being able to do that, because that size of monitor would be great to have, like, well, even the LG that we have right now. My brother will be working on something, and because it has an extra HDMI or DisplayPort input, he'll have a little picture-in-picture up that's connected to the Apple TV. And so he'll be like watching something on Apple TV while the rest of the screen is PC. But for some reason that Odyssey Arc doesn't do stuff like that.
That's weird.
Yeah.
So big, you'd think you'd want to be able to have like almost like a built-in KVM kind of a situation where you could like split it half and half, you know what I mean?
Yeah, funny that you mentioned that. That's actually what I was looking up before we started. That's what I was trying to find, because the LG actually does do that. It actually does have the ability to do like a KVM type switch thing. I've been meaning to look it up so that I'm rearranging things, kind of getting things a little bit more functional on the desk here, and one of my goals is to at least be able to hook up the MacBook that we record with up to the monitor. That way I don't have to like move things around and get things out of the way. I can just like basically have most of the stuff plugged into the monitor, and then it acts as a KVM.
And
I just don't remember how you do it. I think it's software. That's the only thing that sucks. I think it's a software thing you have to do.
Oh. So on the LG one, can you do split monitor? Can you have two different inputs split
Yeah.
on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, you can do split. You can do picture in picture. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, I think I remember reading about that. It's weird that Samsung doesn't have it, especially with having a One Connect box.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, One Connect box is cool to switch inputs, but like, if you have a monitor that big, you should be able to literally split the real estate up. If not
Yeah.
two things, maybe three,
Right.
or even quadrants. Like you could do four. I mean, it's a 55-inch
Yes.
monitor for Christ's sake.
Right. But yeah, I remember that being a problem with the first models that it didn't support. Now, like I said again, I didn't look up which model this was specifically. I was just trying to get through things, so maybe the new models do support that. But I remember that the old models didn't support that, and I thought that was like really stupid.
That's a pretty big short-sightedness right there.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho,
Anywho,
so I know we talked about this a little bit. What was a weird way to put an ad on there? Well, I'll start with this anyways. So I sent a message this morning to the group that Prime Video is doing a live live broadcast from Galaxy News about the new Vault 33.
yeah, that I didn't watch the whatever article or I didn't read the article, but at least the title got me a little excited, and then I got like depressed. But like, I understand because you say Galaxy News, Amazon Prime, and I'm like, ooh, Galaxy, like space, like the Expanse. That's where my mind went, and then it was like, oh no, it's Fallout. I'm like, fuck, Fallout doesn't take place. Why Galaxy News and Fallout? Fuck this.
Because Galaxy
Sorry.
News is the news outlet in the world of
Was it?
yeah. Because remember, it's
I never listened to the radio stations in Fallout because why would I want to listen to somebody? I mean, I get it. I know on some of it was like actually pretty funny stuff to listen to, but like, why do I need somebody, talking at me while I'm running around killing things? It didn't pull my interest in. Anyway, sorry.
So the best part about it is it's basically setting up. I'm guessing they're releasing the trailer today in about a little under an hour now. So what it is basically them. If you don't have it, I mean, obviously this is not live. We're not doing this live, so no one's listening to this. But when you are listening to this, if you go to Amazon Prime Video's YouTube channel, you'll probably be able to watch it. But it's instead of just being like a thing, it's a security video from the inside of the vault door, and they're going to do a vault premiere. So they're going to show off the newest flagship vault from Vault Tech, which is Vault 33. And so what the Galaxy News is, it literally has a news ticker along the bottom, and so it's set in present day, so in 1950 whatever, before the nukes drop. And they're building lore within it. So they're talking about all the different companies, and the ticker along the bottom is even talking about the company who makes the suits of armor.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously setting up the Brotherhood of Steel. And other things like that. So they're basically building all this like history through like the news article, the news ticker, and the release of like the vault and stuff like that. It's pretty funny. And then the view of it right now, if you go to look at it, it's the security camera facing the inside of the vault door before they open it for the first time.
So it's live right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you can watch it. Let me mute my phone before I open it up again, because that'll be expensive. Where'd it go? What happened? Oh, it fell off my the front page there. Yeah, so
it is like black and white.
Yeah.
That like not completely focused type of old looking video.
Yep. Oh, Joe, you're paused on my screen.
I'm paused.
Oh, you're back.
Everything's good on my end.
No, it literally it went to that fuzzy thing and had a pause symbol in a minute. Like it was like like you didn't ever fade out. It's just your screen went out, like you like went out from a different window and your camera wasn't working anymore, or not working, but like using for something else.
Weird.
Yeah, so it's like it's, classic old security footage, and then it shows the vault, in the airlock door.
Mm-hmm.
And then right now the ticker's like talking about the atomic scientist sets doomsday clock to half a nanosecond to midnight. Atlas Observatory, Christen's new telescope, like all sorts of stuff. Like they're building all these things because it's so the setting for this is outside of L.A.
Okay.
Is where Vault 33 is located, which I don't know if that's, I don't know all the lore, so I don't know if that's a known vault number.
Yeah, neither do I.
Because I'm not a fucking hardcore Fallout. I've played almost all of them, not 76 because I refuse to play a battle royale version.
Have you even played the original ones?
I played the OG ones, yeah.
The point and click ones?
Yeah. I played them when 3 came out, because they did that. You got 1 and 2 as like
It's like a package deal.
yeah. So
Okay. I've only ever seen people play them. I think I did try playing one of them. I don't remember which one, but that type of combat system, which was more of like a turn-based combat system, was just not something I'm interested in.
old school Final Fantasy style.
Yeah.
So they have that going on right now. Obviously, they released the photos via Vanity Fair a couple of days ago, and then today they launched character posters. And I will let you know right now that there is a dog in it. He's, the first picture is Ghoul, or the Ghoul, played by Walter Goggins.
Oh,
He is
that's awesome.
yeah.
He's gonna betray somebody.
Yeah, it's cool
Always
too.
betrays somebody.
Like, he doesn't have a nose.
Well, yeah, because none of the ghouls do.
Yeah, so, and he's got like a scarred face from obviously things, but he's dressed in in a cowboy outfit, so he's got spurs and shit on.
Okay.
And then he's standing in this poster. He's standing outside of a doorway of a fucking rundown shack that has one of the little fucking helper robot thingies.
Okay.
Next to it, and then there's the dog with him, and then in the background you can see Nuka-Cola ads. And then if you scroll, this is from comicbook.com is what I'm getting these from. And the next picture is kind of a companion poster. It's the dog with a severed hand in his mouth,
Nice.
blood everywhere, with a foot laying down with makeshift armor, and then the ghoul walking away, holding his guns. And then there's the classic of the new Vault hero walking out into the wasteland, and you can kind of see a couple things in the background.
Yeah, like a Ferris wheel and.
Yeah, I think it's a billboard, or if like a drive-in type thing.
Yeah.
There's a Nuka-Cola thing. There's a rad roach out front. You can kind of see it to her left-hand side.
Oh yeah, it's upside down.
Yeah. And then there's another one where the Brotherhood of Steel, guy in full suit of armor, guy standing in one of the copters with a bunch of the stuff in the background. That was it for those ones.
Those are pretty cool posters.
Yeah.
I do like the Walter Goggins one.
Yeah.
The ghoul one. It's very like Western looking.
Yeah.
And of course, the dog looks like either a German Shepherd or something like that, which is dog meat.
Yep.
Got my little dog meat right here.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, with the goggles and everything.
Yeah, I hope he gets goggles. That'd be awesome.
Right?
I don't know if you can train a dog to wear goggles or not, but
you can. They make doggles, is what they're called.
Actually, I've seen those because I saw a video of a bunch of corgis playing in snow.
Yep.
And they had doggles on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's
It'd be one of the first things I would do when I get a dog.
train.
Train to wear doggles and like people clothes.
Oh, trust me, it's on the way. Um, yeah, it's got to be. I haven't looked at these close enough, other than the first one I saw, which was the vault door. But there's definitely going to be some Easter eggs hidden in these. I can just tell.
Oh yeah,
And the Brotherhood of Steel one just like looks like a fucking war movie.
it really does.
It's cool as hell. Interesting.
And when does this come out?
April 12th.
There it is, April 12th. Yeah, you should probably read it on the poster.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be on the poster. I was gonna
So
throw you
you know
on
we've
the
got
bus,
a
but
few more months.
yeah. So
That's cool. Yeah, I can't wait. Like this is going to be something really fun to watch.
yeah, it's from the
Hopefully
creators
it's
of
not well.
Westworld.
Which,
So
yeah, they know how to do that type of stuff.
yeah, it's Lisa Joy and what's Christopher Nolan's brother's name? Nolan? No, Nolan. Is it Nolan?
Well, his last name would be Nolan.
No, yeah, no, Nolan. I'm trying to what is his fucking name? Jonathan Nolan.
Jonathan Nolan.
That's what it is. So yeah, so it is from them. So I mean, they definitely know how to make a large world, and obviously a world that feels real. That's definitely not real. So we'll see how that goes. But we'll also get a trailer probably later today because it looks like they're doing that right now.
Nice.
So that's because I'm pretty sure that's what that countdown is for. Is literally for the premiere of the trailer is why they're doing that.
Nice.
So I'll go back and watch. I don't mean it's an hour long live video, so because they have a countdown in the lower corner of the video that is now sitting at 55 minutes.
I did not see that.
Because they're talking about so in the context of the video, it is literally them counting down and getting ready to premiere with on the ground coverage of the reveal of the newest Vault Tech Vault.
What time did you say was left on yours?
55. That's when I just clicked on. I don't know if that's live or not.
I see 12 minutes.
Oh, okay.
On the lower left.
Okay, so I might not be up to date on mine. Well, actually, I reopened it, so it's probably not live. Well, I guess it makes sense because that was a while ago when I sent it. So yeah, we should get a trailer here soon. And there's that you can go through. Like it's cool because there's you can't hear it because Joe's watching it on mute, like I was. But there's a broadcaster in the background periodically coming in and talking about things.
Mm-hmm. It was playing music, like that old-timey Fallout music, and yeah, somebody is basically DJing it.
Yeah, so it's one of the broadcasters or whatever talking about like what's happening, and they're gonna have first footage and blah blah blah. So it's a pretty cool setup for it. So we'll see.
It's weird that they're doing it on like a Saturday. Usually they do stuff like this on like Tuesdays.
So it all spurs
trailer releases, I should say.
Yeah, it all spurs from a couple things. One is video game awards. I think is next week.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so that's
I guess it is the end of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, so one of the things is the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer premieres the 5th.
Really?
Yeah, which is, if you ask me, and I'm not like a marketing expert, right? But it's Grand Theft Auto 6. Shouldn't it be released on the 6th of December?
I don't even think I thought Grand Theft Auto 6 was like 2 years away.
No, it comes out next year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They haven't told us yet, but that they are dropping the trailer for it.
Well, like I remember, like because all the video game stuff that I watch had like speculation because Grand Theft Auto 5 has been out for like
feels like a decade,
7 years, something like that. Like it's been pushing a long time, and even GTA Online has been out for a very long time. So people have been speculating, when Grand Theft Auto 6 would come out, and I read somewhere or saw somewhere that there was no expectation to have 6 come out for the next couple of years.
Holy shit!
Still.
Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in 2013. It's been 10 years.
Yeah.
Jesus,
Yeah.
I was right. It was a decade. Holy shit!
Like, it's been like, you don't realize it because for some reason it's still like a very, like, when did online come out?
Not too far after, I think.
Yeah, so even online's been out for a very long time, and it's still weird how it's still kind of like a relevant series that people still play and talk about. Because some of the stuff that I watch, like highlight reel, still has segments on there every once in a while with people playing Grand Theft Auto, and it's like, it's a 10-year-old game. How is it still this popular?
Yeah, it definitely looks like a 10-year-old game too. If you ever watch videos of it.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I do. But then, yeah, to find out that people are like, okay, it's been 10 years. When are you going to launch Grand Theft Auto 6? And they're just like, nah, sometime maybe in the next couple of years we'll announce it. It's like, damn, guys.
It says Grand Theft Auto Online was released in 2013 as well.
Yeah.
I feel like I thought it was later. Like, was it like a little while later after 5 originally came out?
I don't think it launched with 5, but yeah, I think it launched a little bit after 5.
So when did...
But yeah, they're old games. People still play, which is great.
Rockstar loves that shit.
But,
it was a month later.
Yeah, it was a month later.
Yeah, so September to October.
So they're well overdue to release an updated version. Or I should say, to release Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah.
But that's cool, I guess, for the people that do like those games. I've never played them. They're not really, I don't know. They just haven't been a game that I've wanted to get into at all. So it's cool that it's releasing next year, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think they've actually announced anything yet, but I mean, sure, the trailer's going to give us something. And in Rockstar's fashion, it may not even be out next year. That's what everyone's speculating is why it's being released. They'll probably release it towards the end of next year, which is, whatever. I mean, I played almost all of them. I played 5. I never played online because I don't like the fact that, like, you can't control, like...
You're playing online.
Yeah. You just can't trust other people.
No, you can't.
So... I was like, that's cool. I don't care. But I believe, back to what we're talking about with Fallout, the reason why, one is Video Game Awards are next week, but also right now happening in Brazil is something called the CCXP, which is the Comic-Con experience, is happening, and I believe it's probably a part of that. So, and I'd have to look up and see what it is, but... The reason I think that is because right now they're doing a big thing with Rebel Moon down in Brazil at CCXP. It's also where they premiered the Furiosa trailer, if I'm not mistaken.
It was a dope-ass trailer.
It was a pretty fun trailer. It was funny too. Before I watched it, I was like, man, it seems like it should have been out a while ago. Like Fury Road seemed like it was out so long ago. In movie wise, in movie timeline, not like it wasn't like 30 years ago, but like in time wise,
but it was still like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, so like it just seems like it was late, and then I watched it. I was like, you know what, fuck it, I don't even care. I'm okay with it because I had a lot of reservations. I was like, I don't know if Anna, whatever her name is, like would be a very good substitute for Charlize Theron. But it looks like she did a pretty good job. I'm not saying she can't do it. I'm just saying. I didn't picture her in that, but it was pretty cool. And then I saw her with hair, and I was like, I'm confused.
Charlize Theron's shoes is kind of a big thing to fill.
Yeah, that girl has some staying power, if you know what I mean.
And then, of course, it being a Mad Max movie, but it's not really a Mad Max movie. Obviously, a Furiosa movie.
Yeah.
So I going into that trailer, I had nothing. I didn't know anything about it, and to see, I'm just like, that's Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, man.
The fuck? Thor is in this movie? Yeah. It looked pretty dope.
Yeah, I was not gonna lie, I was like, I don't know. I don't really think I care too much about this. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, all right, well, now I care about it, so let's go.
And from what you get in the visual, the trailer too, the visuals look very, very well done.
Yeah.
Very much on par with what we got in
Fury Road.
What was that? Fury Road.
Yep.
Yeah. So I can't wait for like just some of the shots in that movie were so gorgeous. So I can't wait to see more of that, but in this movie.
Yeah. So I mean, I was like, oh, yeah, let's go.
Right.
I'm okay with what's happening here. Yeah. So with Rebel Moon, speaking of that, what I was talking about, they're doing a couple cool things. One is they're letting fans film a scene that they automatically throw into the trailer for part one, and then the fans get that trailer to share amongst themselves. And the crazy part is Zack Snyder's there directing the fans in the scene.
Oh.
So he's giving you direction of what you need to do to fit into the scene.
Okay.
So you get to play out a part of the scene as a character in the trailer. And then they splice it to you and send you the trailer.
So how does that work for like? Are you recording at your like where you want to record?
No, so they have a set at the
Okay.
at the Comic-Con.
Okay, so this is at the con.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. I disconnected those two things. Okay, so you're at the con.
Yep.
I'm like, are people just filming themselves in their bedroom and they're just like, haha, splice in? I'm like, you're just gonna have random splices to, future space moon thing, somebody's bedroom or bathroom. Okay, sorry. Okay, now I'm on the same page.
Yeah, so they have a physical set there, and you get to wear a little costume and hold a prop, and you get to go out and like he directs you on what's the scene is, and so you get to play it out, and then they splice it together with the trailer, and they send it to you, and you get to view it, but also get to share it online, so you get to be part of the trailer.
That's dope.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I was like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, cool. And they did a panel premiere. I think it was yesterday. I don't know. It's Brazil, so I'm not too sure how the time works there. I don't know if yesterday was today and today is tomorrow. I'm not too sure how it works down there.
They're on the same hemisphere as us, so they're just like a couple of hours ahead or behind, depending on exactly where they are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is
They're
I don't
on
know.
the opposite side of the world.
Yeah, I still don't know how that works. Being south of the equator and
How
stuff.
does it work? Like magnets.
No, magnets is black magic. That's not real. Yeah, so they have the panel. Ray Fisher, former cyborg, who was in this movie, came out and he's jacked as fuck, bro.
Isn't he always jacked?
No, like this dude is. You can. There's a clip of it. I think I saw it on Twitter. I refuse to call it anything else but Twitter. And he comes out holding one of the prop guns. And at first I thought it was I can never remember how to say his name. Hausen, whatever his name is. I can't think of how to pronounce his name. One of the dudes, he's in multiple things. But anyways, he comes out and I was like, dang, he looks young. And then I was like, wait, that's Ray Fisher. Ray Fisher be jacked, bro.
Okay.
Like he was pretty, like he was in good shape. Don't get me wrong, for like his role as Cyborg and a couple other things like that. But he looked jacked as fuck, and I was like, God damn, dude, what are you doing right now? I mean, I know Snyder puts some of his actors through some pretty ridiculous bodybuilding training and shit, but like I was like, Cyborg, bro, did you get cybernetics added? Because you look jacked as fuck. Yeah, so there's that, and then they had, I'm pretty sure they probably had some kind of sneak peek or something that he probably gave them. And then I know they're doing a premiere in different cities, and I think Brazil is one of them, and I don't know if it's at this, but I know they're showing the movie ahead of the release, and like actual theaters, but nothing near us. I think the closest one is LA.
That sucks. We have 5 seconds before the fallout.
Let's go see what is happening.
All right, here we go. Black screen. And that was it. Now, okay,
Nope.
that's funny. It's just switching to a new video.
Yeah, but it's in color now.
Yeah.
Oh, vault
Well,
door's
you
opening.
thought that I would have thought that the transition would be a lot more seamless. Not, here's a new video. Oh,
I think this is actually the trailer. Or part
it
of it.
looks like the trailer, yeah.
Vault door opens. Really cool mechanic to do it.
Right?
Okay. We're inside the vault. It's riveting for anybody not watching while we're talking about
right?
it. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah, it's definitely a trailer.
Yeah. Flashes of the main character leaving the vault.
Some very
Vault door
concerned
closing.
people. Oh, skull.
She's out in the-
We have a skull. We have a skull.
Yeah, we do. From the directors of the award-winning Westworld.
How's the pier? Oh, rad roach.
Damn, that's a big roach. Gross.
Tumbleweed. She's scared of a tumbleweed.
I would be too. Thing was hauling ass at her.
Ship in the middle of the ocean.
Desert.
Oh my god, that's what's his face.
Huh.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, get him, dog meat. Studio behind the boys and free 2-day shipping. What
Brotherhood
okay.
of Steel.
Showing the osprey essentially.
Yeah. Miniature ospreys that have to Yeah, the armor looks so good. Oh, he's got a hand. Look at him. Oh my
That
god.
was such a weird looking hand for a second there. It almost looked like it was CG hand and then like practical.
There he is, the ghoul.
Walter Goulgins.
That guy has no pants on.
I'm pretty sure that house has cannibals in it. That looks like a cannibal house.
Oh shit.
Oh, I love this. Not because of the blood, but because he was just like going all like cowboy.
Oh yeah.
Run, dog meat.
Oh
Damn,
lord.
that is straight war. Oh my god, that's a red
Oh.
bear.
Oh.
What is that thing?
Was that an oxalotl mutated?
It almost looked like it.
Oh, there's the nukes.
Yep.
There goes
Damn.
LA.
That's quite a few nukes.
I mean, they do nuke the world, so.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's like 4 nukes in one place. That
Yeah.
seems like too many nukes.
Nah, it's not enough nukes,
Nah.
really.
All right.
Look what's left. I mean, there's still stuff there.
True. Obviously, your nukes weren't very nukey. April 12th. Prime Video. So that was cool.
Yeah.
Showed a lot of dope stuff. I like it. I like it
Can't
a
wait to
lot.
watch it with audio. And the
know,
broadcast is ended. People going wild in the chat. I don't care what
Right.
other people say. So shortly now, you can watch it already. It's 2 minutes and
hope
34
so.
seconds. I was gonna say shortly it's gonna be up there, but it's already up there. But I'll have it posted on the website if you guys don't find it elsewhere. But yeah. So yeah, that's that. That's exciting.
Right?
Let's see what else is happening here. Oh, so in this article I found this morning talking about the Rebel Moon. So Zack Snyder directs fans in Rebel Moon Part 1 trailer. It's talking about the Comic-Con experience. But then it says down here, with the movie coming out really soon, fans have been delighted to know that Snyder has multiple versions of Rebel Moon coming to Netflix. It feels like the director's cut is an absolute layup. With that assurance in tow, the hype is only rising for Snyder's latest film, technically films. It's guaranteed to be interesting. His take on sci-fi universe holds a lot of potential for fans of the genre. And there's a quote here from him that says it's a full hour longer. Snyder reveals it's not just slightly different or a little bit more. There are big chunks of the movie that are different. A lot more stuff is fleshed out. So, what?
So they're releasing a edited version and then a director's cut immediately.
Because I think they're doing it for the theater release. Because
okay.
You can't release like a 4-hour movie in theaters because people will complain.
I mean, you could.
Yeah, you can. I've seen it. I saw Hateful Eight in theaters.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you just do an intermission.
Yeah, man. Like they did it in Hateful Eight. They did it with what was that crazy one they did with Death Proof and
the Tarantino
double feature one. Why did
Death Proof and God, what was the other movie?
With the dripping balls and the fake trailers. All I can think is the Werewolf Woman of the SS, but that's one of the trailers. That's the one. It's gonna bother me. The girl with a machine gun leg.
Yeah, it's Michelle Rodriguez, right?
No, that one's Rose McGowan.
Oh, Rose McGowan. Okay.
Yeah.
But yes, I can literally see Death Proof and.
Oh, it's gonna bother me.
Okay, now I've got to look this up.
Okay, you look it up. So this is a quote, and I'll read this while you're looking that up, from Wesley Kohler, the producer of Rebel Moon, Part 1, Child of Fire, or A Child of Fire. Zack is a world builder. He loves the layering of a world and the details of a story and the nuances. What? Grindhouse. Yeah. What was
the other movie? That's what. Yeah. Okay. What was the other movie? Planet Terror.
I knew it was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Says his process allows him doing so much exploring what's under the hood, not just what we see on screen here. Having the opportunity to take this fresh idea and build all of it out, asking the questions over here and finding the answer over there was the most exciting part of him. So that leads me to another story I had, which I opened up somewhere on here. Nope. Did I close it? Oh my god, I forgot they close when you don't do that thing. So there was an article or an interview done with Zack from the Hollywood Reporter. And it's basically talking about kind of his build-up. And there's a lot of stuff I actually didn't know about him leading up to this. The fact that, so he went through film school, got out, was doing commercials and music videos, is actually where he met his wife, Deborah, who was a music producer. I think is what they said in here. But his first job that he actually got hired for, he quit. And it was the SWAT movie with Colin Farrell.
Wow, he quit on that?
So the reason why, and it's not because, I mean, I have my gripes with that movie because it's not very good.
Right.
But he wanted to make it rated R.
Which would make sense.
Yeah. But the studio said no because rated R movies don't sell.
Oh, it was at that time, yeah.
Yeah. So then he quit his job. He quit it. And everyone's like, yo, you can't quit your first gig. Like, that's not how this works.
Right. It's your first gig. You need to stick it out and show people what you can do, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So then, let's see if I can find the actual quote or mention in here. But basically, he then got the opportunity to direct Dawn of the Dead, which then I also forgot that was written by James Gunn. And so obviously that was the first time of them working together in a way. I don't know how much of it was working together. But let's see if I can find it in this article. It's really long. There's a lot of cool information in here, like talking about like how after the release of the trailer for 300, he got a call from Tom Cruise, who wanted to have breakfast with him to talk about how he made the film.
Oh.
Which apparently is a thing that Tom Cruise does.
If he likes a movie, he just calls up the
No,
director.
this was from the trailer.
Oh.
The trailer
Okay.
premiered a year before the movie did. After the trailer premiered, Tom Cruise calls up his people, or I don't know how he gets a hold of him, and he asks him to come over to his house and have breakfast so they could talk about how he made it.
That's a scary prospect. I mean, just because like Tom Cruise is such like a big star and just has that big personality, it's like just to have him be like, "Hey, let's come over," basically unknown director guy, and let's talk about your trailer that you've released.
Yeah, wild, right?
Yeah, wonder how that went.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. There'll be a fly on that wall.
Right?
So it says in early 2000s, he landed his first feature directing gig with SWAT, an action movie set up at Sony, loosely based on the 1970s TV series. He wanted to make what else? A rated R movie. The studio wanted PG-13, so he quit. He was sure his career was over and ended right before it started. He said, "Your first movie, you shouldn't quit." Okay. But of course, his career was nothing or anything but over. He ended up getting hired for the R-rated remake of Dawn of the Dead, which became a hit and garnered positive reviews, obviously because it was fucking awesome. And there's a director's cut of that, by the way, if no one's ever seen it before. Got a couple extra minutes in it, nothing crazy. And then, of course, that led to him landing the director's chair for 300, a film that changed everything for Snyder, branding him Hollywood's hottest new visualist. The $60 million 2007 feature based on Frank Miller's graphic novel and the Battle of Thermopylae. I know it's not pronounced that, but that always makes me laugh when I say it like that. The highly stylized with digital backgrounds and desaturated hues, filled with bloody slow motion sword slashing and eye dazzling abs. So then it goes on, talks more about it. So then it says, the Sunday of 300's opening weekend, Snyder was shooting a commercial for Miller Lite when he got a surprise phone call. Right? So, mind you,
shooting a commercial for Miller Lite. What?
It's hilarious. It's Miller Lite, and he just did a movie that was based on a Frank Miller graphic novel.
Yeah.
That made me laugh. But
Yes.
then the thing is, he makes this movie, right? The weekend it comes out, he's filming a commercial for Miller Lite.
Right. Like, he's big time director. Like, he's done good, big movie director stuff at this point, but he still is doing small stuff.
That just kind of goes back to, like, looking at, like, this is in 2007, right? So, or no, this is 2000. When was 300? Shortly after that, right? So, because 2007 was Dawn of the Dead, so 2008-9 or whatever it was. So that just kind of shows you the slowness that Hollywood was kind of running back then, because they should have already had him doing other stuff if they knew how well received 300 would have been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyway, so it says here, he's filming this commercial, gets a surprise phone call. Tom Cruise was on the line. The superstar actor had no connection to the movie or Warner Brothers, because remember, this is Warner Brothers. That motherfucker works for, like, Universal and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, most of his movies come from, like, Universal.
Yeah.
But a year earlier, Cruise had invited Snyder for breakfast out to his Beverly Hills home after being blown away by the 300 trailer and wanted to pick his brain about making the film. Now Cruise was calling to congratulate him on the box office numbers. It has grossed $70.8 million then in a March box office record. A few minutes later, Snyder's phone rang again. This time, Warner Brothers' Alan Horn, the president of Warner Brothers, who also wanted to relay the numbers. And then Snyder says to him, "It was. Oh, Tom already told me." Can you imagine? Bro, Tom Cruise, who has no affiliation with this, is such a fucking nerd about movies.
Yes.
That he already has the box office numbers for something he probably doesn't even have anything in that whole box office has a goat in, right? Or a horse in the race, whatever you want to call it. Then calls up the director before the studio head has a chance to.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking wild to me.
It's wild that he has the numbers.
Yeah.
Just in general. Like, I don't think that's necessary. I mean, especially when you're talking about as the weekend's going on.
This is Sunday.
How does he have the numbers?
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's fucking wild, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So then this article, not to keep reading through it, but this is the last bit we talk about because this leads into something you and I love, and someone you and I love. So it talks about how, obviously, the wild success of Dawn of the Dead, wild success of 300. It says, feeling cocky with a hit under his belt, which really, it should be hits, because, I mean, Dawn of the Dead was a hit as well.
Yeah.
Snyder chose his next project, which it didn't even dawn on me, which is funny, Dawn of the Dead, that this was his third movie.
I'm going to guess.
Okay.
Guess?
Yeah.
Sucker Punch.
No. So his third movie he picked up was Watchmen.
Oh, that was his third movie?
Yeah, so that's
his fourth movie was Sucker Punch, I'm guessing.
So yeah, that's what was crazy, right? So, like, all right, so let's pull this up real quick just to give you a breakdown of how this works. Zack Snyder. Oh, I don't know how to spell Snyder, apparently.
Snyder?
Yeah, I typed in the Y before the N because I'm an idiot. Because I don't know how things work.
Snyder.
So literally, his first 5 films were Dawn of the Dead, 300, Watchmen, Legends of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole.
Well, I totally forgot that it was his movie.
And Sucker Punch.
And then Sucker Punch.
Now, the biggest thing is he didn't write Dawn of the Dead, he didn't write Watchmen, he didn't write Legends, but he did write both 300 and Sucker Punch.
Mm-hmm.
Really, he adapted 300, but he co-wrote it with Kurt Johnston and Michael B. Gordon, which is a hilarious name because Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Gordon?
Yeah, it's a different human being. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's like, what should my alias be? Michael B. Gordon.
Yeah, so you look at that, right? And then you're like, okay, so Snyder, I mean, obviously, he's made a ton of movies, right? Incorrect.
Yeah.
Incorrect. He has made directed Dawn of the Dead, 300, Watchmen, Legends of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole, Sucker Punch, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, Justice League, Army of the Dead, and now Rebel Moon 1 and Part 1 and 2.
So 10 to 11 movies, depending on how you split it.
If you were to ask me, that motherfucker has made 70 movies.
It definitely feels like it.
But he's not. That's wild to me. But every one of these movies is like a mega epic movie.
They are.
You know what I mean? So basically this article talks about him choosing to make 300, which everyone up until that point figured it's impossible to make. Obviously, because 300 is a pretty... Or, I mean, Watchmen is a pretty ridiculous graphic novel in general. I mean, you have a giant... someone who can be giant in blue and usually has dong out. Yeah. But multiple versions of himself, all these different things. It's crazy, right? It's just like... It's one of those things where, like... Batman is one of the most easily adapted comic books to movie or to screen.
Why it's one of the ones that have been adapted the most. Yeah.
Watchmen has definitely got to be one of the hardest to pull off. Mm-hmm. One is the costumes are going to look ridiculous if not done properly.
Yes.
Also, the scale of everything is just mind-numbingly big. Mm-hmm. Like just the everything, right? So this talks about this, that I didn't know this. I knew one of these, but I didn't know one of these other ones. Up until that point, there were 2 other filmmakers who have actually tried and failed Terry Gilliam.
Okay, that's
Uh,
a big name.
yep, Terry Gilliam of Monty Python fame, but also like Time Bandits and many other things. And Darren Aronofsky.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Okay.
bro. I have to look this up still because I forgot the other day. But yeah, Darren Aronofsky was attached to make Watchmen.
Wow.
That shit would have been wild.
Yeah.
I don't know if he could have done it because his movies outside The Fountain, his movies have never really been like, how do I put this properly without sounding like a fucking asshole? Spectacles.
Yeah.
The Fountain was by far like the most spectacle-y of his movies.
Yeah.
But I mean, Mother was pretty ridiculous too. But that's more of a just a
That's right. He directed Mother.
mind-blowing, fucking bizarre cavalcade of ridiculousness. And the fact that the entire movie pretty much takes place inside of a house. So,
Yeah. Right.
which by the way, I didn't even realize this, and it boggled my mind when I found this out. This is many years ago. I found this out. Being that it was set in a house like that, was an allegory for being the womb.
Of course it was.
And I was like, oh,
I mean, of course, that whole movie was an allegory. Like,
Yeah.
you could just. There's some film school out there somewhere that just has a whole class on the allegory within that movie.
a whole goddamn semester.
Yes.
You get your doctorate in Mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, so his adaptation came out. Obviously, didn't do the numbers everyone expected it to do. But then again, it's Watchmen. It's pretty heady in general. Did $180 million on a $120 million budget. Then his next two movies, 2010's Animated Legends of the Guardians, Owls of Ga'Hoole, and 2011's Sucker Punch, which, by the way, those two movies came out a year apart. That's fucking bonkers. Didn't fare as well in the box office either because, God forbid, you want art. Whatever I mean.
I still really enjoy Sucker Punch. It's a very good movie to me.
Oh, it's
I don't
so good.
understand what people's problem with it was.
Because it's not all fucking cookie cutter and it doesn't have a happy ending.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, it does kind of have a happy ending. Abby Cornish got away and she became the love interest of Jack Ryan. So, I mean, it works out for everybody.
Fair.
So in this is the part that got to me that relates to you and I directly, besides the fact that we love pretty much everything Zack Snyder's ever done.
Yeah.
I can't actually tell you any of the stuff he hasn't made that I don't like.
Well, I haven't seen the Owls one.
Okay, it's pretty dope. It's pretty like out there too, but also it's like it's a fantasy film from
the
fucking
weird thing about that
Zack.
too, it's a George Lucas movie too.
Yeah,
It's such a weird thing to be reminded that is a George Lucas property because I think he wrote it, right?
I think it was based on something.
At least it's a Lucas film production type thing, and then to be reminded or find out because I can't remember if I knew before that Zack Snyder actually directed it. It's like such a weird thing. But I remember when it came out, like seeing trailers for it, but not really paying attention to it because it didn't look like anything I wanted to see. And I don't really recall Zack Snyder's name being such a prominent thing on it. Anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, it's the poster says from the studio brought you Happy Feet. Well, guess what? That fell far from the mark. So it said in this, still, Watchmen caught the attention of a powerful ally, Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, that's a powerful ally.
So, in an email sent from Nolan, says, "I've always beloved Watchmen." Sorry, this is how it starts. I always believed Watchmen was ahead of its time. The idea of a superhero team, which is in itself brilliantly subvert, wasn't yet a thing in movies. It would be fascinating to see it released post-Avengers, a la The Boys, obviously.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking, bro, what would that be like?
Would it be more popular because you do have the popularity of The Boys now?
Yeah, because you think about it, right? Like, if he didn't make it then, right, for whatever reason, Like he was like, yeah, we can make this, but I don't feel we're there yet. Which if you ask me, it was fantastically done and the visuals are stupendous.
It was fantastically done.
Um,
Absolutely.
but also like it's one of those things where like, can you imagine? This is the other thing. Like I get my brain crazy working on this one statement by fucking Christopher Nolan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Chrissy Noel.
As I like to call him.
Yeah, as close friends to us call
Yeah.
him. So, can you imagine what they could have done with Watchmen if they had the stuff they have now, like volume sets? Like,
Yeah.
bro, like even if you had volume sets when they made like Man of Steel or Batman v Superman,
Mm-hmm.
bro, that shit would have been ridiculous. But yeah, it got me thinking. I was like, bro, can you imagine like the mass? Like, granted, in our world, Watchmen is very well received. It's very beloved. It's still celebrated to this day when you go to cons and things like that.
Somebody I know owns multiple volumes of the comic book.
Yeah, that person's a lunatic, and multiple
Yeah.
volumes or multiple copies of the movie. And we're not gonna name any names. That guy's a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
But yeah, can you imagine the fervor and the fucking like pop culture comparisons that would have happened post Avengers?
Yeah, because at that point it would have been more of a commentary. The release time would have been more of a commentary on that type of ensemble movie
Yeah,
as well. You know, you have all the glitzy, glamorous, brightly colorful Marvel movies, and then now you would have this more cynical, darker, more arguably a bit more realistic, because obviously your heroes aren't, well, The Boys, shows you what people with powers probably would be like when they grow up with powers. They're just dicks that
yeah.
like to fuck and kill things.
So-
So it would be bigger commentary on those types of movies, definitely.
Yeah, I was like, man, dude, again, if I had that time machine, I'd be reckless, dude. I'd like go back and be like, Zach, listen.
Just pump the brakes on this for a little bit.
Let me give you some future advice, literally. Marvel is doing something. You need to hold off because you're on the cusp. You're like right before. You're right there. They're already doing stuff. You need to hold off. Make this after the Avengers, and we'll see what happens. I mean, even at that point, I might say, "Hey, I love your DC stuff. Don't do it, and instead, do some other stuff, and then do this. Shit's gonna be wild."
Yeah.
Because I fear if he would have made Watchmen after he did all the DC stuff, it wouldn't have been as good. But if he would have stayed away from the DC stuff and then done Watchmen, which obviously weirdly enough is a DC project anyways, that shit would have been fucking wild.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it would have been like probably 15 hours long, which I'm completely okay with.
Right.
And they probably would have actually had the giant squid monster thing.
Yeah. I could definitely see that. Like, not going backwards on that. I don't remember why they chose to do something different within the actual movie, but I can see with the way things are now, you have the ability to do more spectacular stuff, and a CG squid at the end would have been,
Yeah, fantastic.
And then you could have done, because the Watchmen show was more based on the comic than it was the actual movie.
Yeah.
You could have tied them together better.
Yep. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I loved the Watchmen show.
The Watchmen show is fantastic.
And I'm so glad they didn't force a season 2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I would like to see where it goes, but I loved the way they did what they did, and I think it's fantastic to have it where it's at.
It's the epitome of having a story in mind and sticking to that story and just telling that story and not going, oh, this is popular, let's start spreading it out even more.
Yeah.
No, it's I have this story in mind, let's just make this story, and that's it. I love things like that.
yeah, so I recommend, Joe, if you want to read this, I'll send it over, the Hollywood Reporter interview with him, because it talks about more than just that stuff. It talks about how, briefly, I'll talk about it before we wrap this up, like how he's been working on what is now Rebel Moon part 1 and 2 for like a long time, and the fact that like it started out as a movie and then it went to being a TV show, and now back to a 2-part movie with an animated prequel and some other stuff happening too. But yeah, bro, it's wild. The article is crazy. It's pretty dope. And obviously the things I talk about are just getting a phone call from fucking Tom Cruise randomly.
Right.
And then like an email from, of course, from fucking, Christopher Nolan.
Mm-hmm.
Was just fucking, what? Huh? What? What's happening here? I don't understand it.
Like, you've known that you've made it when those guys are just like contacting you directly.
Yeah, right. Like,
congratulating you.
Wild, dude.
Not even not even just like asking, hey, can I be in your next thing or something? It just like straight up, just like, congratulations, man. This was fucking awesome. It's just like, the fuck, these guys just contacted me. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just, yeah, I highly recommend reading. There's a lot more in it. There's a whole lot more in it. But yeah, it's definitely a good read, and it's had a lot of cool stuff in it. But anyhow, I think that's it.
I'd say so.
This has been Comes Naturally. We have been
Joe.
I have been Cody, and as usual, you fuckers just came naturally.
Bye.
Bye.